Welcome back guys, my name is Silent Core and this is my weekly countdown series. So Rockstar have recently announced that we're going to be getting one more DLC this year, and it just kind of begs the question, how many more DLCs are we going to get in GTA Online? So today is going to be my personal top 5 DLCs I would like to see in GTA Online, and Rockstar would probably make a ton of money if they were to implement. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think, or what DLCs you guys would like to see in GTA Online the most, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. First up at the number 5 spot would be a Pimping DLC. Now my inspiration for this one came from playing San Andreas recently. Now if you haven't played San Andreas, it basically features a whole series of pimp missions where you kind of pick girls up, take them to their destinations, and then after you go collect them and take them to any other rides after that. And if there's any customers that they're with that get too aggressive or, you know, try and steal the money or not pay them or whatever, it's your job as a pimp to go and make sure you get the money from them. So you're kind of like, you work your way up to be a kingpin pimp, if that's such a thing. But I think this could actually make for a pretty cool concept in a GTA Online DLC, and if it was a full DLC, you can imagine it would include all sorts of pimp outfits, and maybe you could own your own kind of trafficking business that you can operate, and maybe even be able to own your very own Playboy mansion in GTA Online. Next up at the number 4 spot would be a Cops and Criminals DLC. Now, I actually got this idea from Matt Sia. He put up a post on Reddit with a really cool concept of how a Cops and Criminals DLC would actually work in GTA Online. So an update like this could include a whole host of clothing and outfits for both sides, you know, with the cops and the criminals, as well as actually being able to purchase a precinct. And then in this precinct you would be able to build it and upgrade it into a jail, and maybe even run missions to capture criminals, kind of like GTA's Most Wanted. An update like this could potentially also breathe some life into the whole bounty system and how that works in GTA Online, so when players have money on their head to be killed, it could be assigned to the cops to either take out that player or capture that player and take them back to the precinct. And then maybe on the other side, so on the criminal side, maybe there'd be an option to be the bad guy and actually work your way up through the ranks of a criminal empire. I also want to highlight a post made by Spidervice on GTA forums where he actually found some legacy code in the game that referenced cops and robbers and drug wars, so it looks like Rockstar have at some point actually developed part of this concept. It's still unknown why Rockstar either removed or cancelled this update, so maybe Rockstar could potentially finish what they started with this one, because I think it would be a really cool idea. At the number 3 spot would be a Heists Expansion. Now in my opinion, this is my personal opinion, but Heists is still my all-time favourite DLC that's ever been added into GTA Online. And I just love the way heists are set up, you know, the coordination they require, the teamwork they require, how you have to complete several different setup missions to get to the finale mission, and then of course the awesome money rewards that you get at the end of them. And then we also had a whole bunch of awesome challenges that we got with this update. The biggest one being the Criminal Mastermind Challenge. This one actually took me a whole month of grinding to get, but that sweet 10 million reward made it just worth every second. If Rockstar were to add more heists into the game, there's just so many different directions they could take this, you know, with robbing trains, robbing boats out to sea, and big shipping containers, you know, robbing other gangsters. There's just so many different heists that we could potentially do. Rockstar definitely did make it clear that the heists were a lot of development work, and especially we could see that from how long it was actually delayed, the heist update. And Rockstar also said in a Q&A on their newswire that there probably won't be making any more heists anytime soon. They did post that quite a while ago, so I don't know if that's still the status with it. But I feel like now heists already exist. You know, all of the groundwork, foundations that have been put in to make heists happen, that's already in the game. So it should be a lot easier for Rockstar to add more heists now that it's created rather than to create it from scratch. Kind of like how a lot of the newer updates all use the same foundations of the create, running and selling model. You know, it's easier for Rockstar to add more businesses that use previous concepts that they've already built. So the same should technically apply to heists, right? Moving on to the number 2 spot would be a Naval Combat DLC. So we've had gun running offering even more weaponized land vehicles, we've had Smuggler's Run offering military air vehicles, and that just leaves sea vehicles as the next logical step. I want to give credit to Sony Evans. He actually did a really good in-depth video on how a whole Naval Combat DLC would work and the whole concept behind it, so I'll leave that in the description if any of you guys want to watch it. But basically this DLC could involve us having an aircraft carrier that we could own and then customize it as well as weaponize it. I guess this would be kind of similar to how the Mobile Operations Center currently works. You know, you can use your MOC as a base for upgrading things, but also as a moving powerhouse if you want to add all of the weapons onto it. I could quite imagine if Rockstar did add a Naval Combat DLC, it would probably be the most extortionate DLC for GT Online to date, just considering how expensive yachts are. And you know, that's a useless boat that just sits there and is really just a spawnable location out to sea. Could you imagine how expensive boats would be if they were actually functional? And last but not least, at the #1 spot is a single player story DLC. You guys probably saw this one coming, right? How about that single player DLC that Rockstar announced to be releasing in 2014 and they haven't mentioned since? I decided to put this one as my #1 spot because I've always loved the single player DLCs that Rockstar have released previously. You know, GTA 4 had 2 amazing single player DLCs. There was the Ballad of Gay Tony. That one was just one of my favourite DLCs of all time. The Ballad of Gay Tony was absolutely hilarious. There was so many awesome characters in it, and the cutscenes were just so funny. It was a really awesome DLC, you know, something that I'd happily spend money on. And then there was Red Dead Redemption that had the Undead Nightmare DLC, which was basically where there was a zombie apocalypse in the Red Dead Redemption world, and it was just a really fun, awesome concept. And even if you played through the game and were bored of it, if you got that DLC, you'd be totally pumped and get a whole new breath of fresh air into the game. There have been rumours come from various Rockstar tipsters in the community, such as Yan, who said the single player DLC was officially cancelled, and then there was some rumours that it was actually being looked into again. We're still not sure currently what that status is. I think it's quite obvious at this stage to say the reason for Rockstar not releasing a single player story DLC is a financial one. You know, if someone wants a single player story DLC, that's a one-time purchase, whereas if they keep releasing online content, it actually encourages consumers to make multiple shark card purchases compared to just one purchase. And this can even be seen from Rockstar's earnings calls. You know, this is where the CEO talks about the huge growth of recurring consumer spending, that is people buying shark cards over and over again. Personally, I think it does make sense for Rockstar to focus on GT Online at the moment while it's most popular, and then maybe after Red Dead Redemption 2 is released, to bring people back to GTA 5, they could then release a single player story DLC, and that just leaves some breathing room between people completing GTA 5. And after people have got their hands on Red Dead Redemption 2, they're going to be even more hyped to then come back to GTA 5 again. So that was my top 5 DLCs I'd love to see for GTA 5. Let me know in the comments what DLC you guys would like to see most, or if I missed out any good ideas, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you did enjoy, it really helps support my weekly countdown series. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Sick, I'm in Los Santos, dodging missiles, dodging bullets, coming at me now, tell me to pull it.